into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
There we go. Black Sabbath or White Christmas. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Scorpion After Show here on AfterBuzz. And this is Happy's favorite Christmas song, which is Black Sabbath, Iron Man. Yeah. My name's Nando Velasquez, and here for this special Christmas episode joining me is the full cast, all in our little Santa hats. So let's start off with Miss Pink Hat over here.
Hi, you look like you're getting lower.
I am getting lower. She just wants to bring that up. She's having fun bringing that up.
That's how it's going to be by the end of it. Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas.
That's Monse Bolanos, and then Marina.
Hi, guys. Good to see you.
With your ram hat.
I didn't have a reindeer hat, so I came with a ram.
You came prepared. It's fine.
It's good. We love it.
I like your ram hat. And then definitely not least, although he's wearing his grumpy hat.
Yes.
Yes.
Grumpy. It's actually your grumpy hat.
It's my grumpy hat.
I gladly accepted it. I was so happy you brought it for me. So, hey, you guys.
Yeah, you kind of have the grumpy hidden, but that's Rylan Adams there. For those of you looking at us on video, either at AfterBuzzTV.com or on YouTube. For those of you on iTunes, you'll just have to deal with the visualization of imagining. Anyway, let's talk about this episode. We're running a little bit late, so this is going to be a little short, but it was I gotta say, first of all, the name of the episode is Dominoes. It's episode 12 of season 1. And you know what? I really like a lot of the episodes, but this, I think, for some reason, was my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing because it's getting lower and lower. Your chair. Do you want my phone booth?
No, it's okay.
Wait, you're sitting on a phone booth?
I'm phone booth.
Phone booth.
Oh, booth. I meant book.
We're okay.
Book. Okay, but
if I have to, I will stand up. I will stand up.
This is a thriller, though.
Yeah.
On the edge of my seat the whole time, just like.
Yeah, I felt like I couldn't breathe.
Very intense.
Yeah. I like these kinds of episodes. I haven't trashed, but I've kind of said how like the last couple of episodes where they're facing these like the mafia or these big international criminals, and then like they do this one little thing, and all of a sudden it's wrapped up nicely with 15 minutes to go. Yeah, this one the exact opposite. I really loved it. It just things kept getting worse and worse. We were all pretty much like on the edge of our seats. We were
all screaming at the TV at one point or another. So you know it was a good episode.
We were all pretty shocked that day.
And I don't know if you guys do this, but I know a lot of people do, and I sure do. When they go underwater, I hold my breath to see if it's real.
Yeah, I do the same
every single time.
Really?
Every single time, every movie, I'm like.
Right, just to see. She's right, just to see if it's realistic.
My thing was the nose. We can talk about this later, but when it was like you can't breathe, I was. Oh, it was so hectic for me. But then I was thinking breathing in through the nose is what would be hard for me because I just would do it by nature.
You just have to go like this, so you really can't. Right?
Really?
Oh, that's true.
That kid,
he should have told the little kid, just hold your nose.
Props to that kid.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
he did great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah. First of all, props to that kid. His name is Wyatt Olaf.
He's gonna work.
And well, I got news for you. He is he's in one of the biggest movies, if not the biggest movie this year that came out this year.
Hunger Games.
No.
What?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
He actually plays Chris Pratt's character as a kid. He's in the beginning.
So
that's young Quill.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Because
so
he's about to take over Hollywood in like 5 years.
And really, the acting job and just what they put him through. I mean, being those underwater scenes, being dragged out and everything. I think there's a lot to ask of anybody.
Even at the beginning, the hectic environment with the Skype sessions, because just to like convey that emotion for us.
But
parents.
I would say remember that name because the kid's getting booked on some good stuff. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is the big one. I think to play young Chris Pratt. That's what they imagined Chris Pratt looking like, and he was also young Rumpelstiltskin in Once Upon a Time.
Oh, okay.
So for those of you Once Upon a Time fans, you might recognize him from that. And those are the two big ones. He's done some other stuff, but definitely.
But I mean, that's a huge resume for a kid his age.
I know.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
He's
yeah.
feeding all of us.
Guardians alone, I think, is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think of think of like the one that comes to mind always for me is the kid who played young Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump. Like you always remember some of those guys. So I think that's really big. Anyway, before we get into Owen and the rock slide, let's talk a little bit. This was the Christmas episode, as one of the reasons why we're wearing all these hats. We're kind of celebrating with the cast, with the characters from this episode, and really interesting to see. It's nice to see these little backstories. So I don't want to dismiss them. When Paige comes in the beginning, and we hear Iron Man in the background, we hear Black Sabbath, and Paige is all chipper and happy because that's Paige. She's a mom. She's gonna be like that. And we see Happy and Toby and Sylvester all have had horrible Christmases.
Yeah, it was sad. I was like, what?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Happy's in foster homes, and Sylvester with his parents wishing he was stronger. The line he said is, "My parents, I was big, not strong. I was a big kid, not strong kid." And then
because his parents got him weights.
Yes, it got him a weight kit. And which I think that comes into play later on when Sylvester starts showing some strength. I really think that whole thing is pertinent to the story. And then Toby's dad bringing him to the OTB, to the off-track betting, to bet on horses while his mom
was already passed out.
Yeah, pretty sad. And also we see we see Paige give out these little ornaments that were kind of cute to each of their personalities, which I think is interesting because I didn't see at the end if Sylvester got a calculator, but we saw
he did.
So they all got their gifts at the end. That means at the end.
No, he got the calculator at the beginning.
He got a calculator.
No, I know. He got a calculator ornament, and Happy got a wrench.
Right.
Oh,
and Toby got yes.
I don't know.
Because we saw Happy got a
He got
wrench.
a kiss.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. But anyway, so it's the Christmas episode. I think it's really funny because Christmas. I'm sorry, it's just me. I'm the New Yorker. You're gonna trash me now.
What?
Christmas in LA. You see all the sunny, the palm trees and the lights.
I was just thinking that because you grew up in California, right?
Yeah.
I was just thinking
Christmas in New York is a lot better.
Yeah,
Sorry,
even in
guys.
Colorado, I'm gonna go home for Christmas and just get all of that. I feel so bad for you guys here.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a Christmas Eve episode on the beach.
It's Southern California.
I grew up in Brazil. We had barbecue, and I went to the pool, and I went sunbathing.
I know. Costa Rica. It's a tropical place.
But
it's
I
hot right
do
now.
love winter for Christmas.
In the
I love
city.
New York.
But
It's so
I also
beautiful.
agree. Christmas in New York, you don't beat that.
Yeah.
But it's Southern California.
I know. I get it.
Complain,
What do
seriously.
you do in the morning though? Because I don't feel like I want to relax if it's like hot outside. I need to like go hiking on
You
Christmas.
relax as you tan, right, Marina?
In Colorado, I'm just
Take
like
a
on the
nap.
couch with the fire and
Gosh.
Christmas music.
I've had a
and
few
tree.
Christmases out here, so I mean, it's very different. But I think it's just really funny seeing. I think even to show how much they react to Christmas time. I think it's just I don't know. I think there's something about all those shots we saw at Rodeo Drive at Christmas time.
And then cut to Hollywood.
cut to Hollywood.
I'm like, that's not Rodeo Drive.
and of course this whole thing takes place in the beach. It's just very interesting. So anyway, so let's talk about this case. We see Walter and his sister Megan at Zuma Beach, and they're having this little conversation about Walter brings up this new drug trial, this possible drug that he wants Megan to take. He has her actually in as for the trial, and she says she doesn't want to be a guinea pig. And we see Walter, of course. He always responds really well to kids, helping out a kid get his kite up in the air. And next thing you know, like I felt like it was a minute later, we get this seismic shift, and there's a rock slide by this whole section where unfortunately Owen, this kid that he just helped moments earlier, is stuck in. And again, last week I said I thought from the clips it was Ralph, but it was a different kid completely. Someone on YouTube
Can you
commented on
imagine
that.
if it was Ralph?
Oh God.
The panic would even be that much higher because we know him.
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
So bad.
Last week when we saw the preview, I didn't think it was Ralph, and then you mentioned it. I was like, it was Ralph. I was like tripping.
I thought I wasn't sure. I thought it was him.
Can
'cause
you
I messed up.
imagine Paige, the hot mess that Paige would be?
Right,
Yeah.
which is what I was expecting in the episode. I was expecting it to be Ralph, so I was like, this is going to be a crazy episode. Still was.
It still
Not for
was.
Paige.
Paige didn't play around at
Right,
all.
it was
I
just not
like,
for Paige, yeah.
Yeah, well, thankfully, but I mean, still, Walter was very invested in this kid. I mean, Walter is usually invested in this kind of stuff, but he's very invested in this kid.
Walter is such a great person in that realm. He cares so much.
Yeah. So anyway, so the kid is in the caves when this happens, and Walter, incredibly, it's so funny to see him analyzing Christmas, analyzing how to raise the kite, and he knows everything about this rock slide, knows that the kid probably isn't dead, and gets, because he's on Homeland, he gets his people here. He gets this contract. I don't know who that guy was exactly.
He was like showing the police up. He's like telling the police like all of these facts.
Yeah.
And then that guy's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm with Homeland Security. We can get people." And
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, you can."
And he gets a full crew. He gets in the press. It becomes a big story.
Let's not talk about the press.
Oh my god.
Well, let's vaguely bring up the press, because there seem to be like 18 different
like
different newscasters.
Every California news outlet in the world is there.
Well, I think one of them, we were watching the East Coast feed, because we do this earlier, at least California time, so that we can do this at a respectable hour East Coast. And at least we saw after the commercial break, or right before the commercial break, the WCBS newscaster promoting like behind the scenes of Scorpion, and we think that we saw her in that episode as well.
Well, the thing that got me thinking it is that she was like, "Notice any familiar faces in Scorpion tonight? Well, we're going behind the scenes." And then right after that, I was like, "I think that's her." So we gotta find out or confirm.
So I missed that.
If it's indeed her.
One of the people on IMDb, I was looking at the list. They didn't have everybody on here, but they said reporter number 4 was Rick Garcia, who is KCBS. Yeah. So my guess is, and
she's throwing it out to him, maybe.
Yeah. Well, no. Actually, what I think what happened was, and I think this is really smart for CBS, for anybody who watches. I think all the major outlets, because we saw so many different ones, that I think all the major outlets probably had an opportunity to send one of their newscasters there to just have a cameo, and then they would also get an EPK on how the scene was created, and they could actually have their newscaster in on the piece as well. So it looks like,
like
that's actually genius.
Yeah.
Because it helps everyone out, and why wouldn't the newscaster want to like be in a TV spot?
Right? Yeah.
So I for those of you, I'm sure it's only for the States, but for those of you in a major outlet, you might recognize one of the newscasters on the show as your local one. However, I will say this, and we were all really annoyed by the newscasters in the episode. We thought it was
new.
It was too much.
When they put the kids' Skype feed on national television or local television or whatever, I was just like, like if they did that to my kid, I would.
Yeah.
No, you did never do that. Can you imagine? Like, what if he died right there on the spot and you were like live on TV?
No, you
like, what is
can't.
this?
Yeah. That was so unreal. That was the most unrealistic part. Like those reporters, I was like, really? This would not fly.
That's the one thing.
This would not fly.
For people who actually do this for a living profession. I mean, it's always interesting when writers try and write newscasters into pieces generally, because they don't necessarily always have the right writing style.
Right.
Yeah, for that.
It's very different.
It's very different, and I felt it was really distracting me, especially what they kept calling Walter different things.
Right.
Oh my gosh,
some kind of contractor,
freelance contractor with Homeland Security,
which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
I get how they wanted to have the reporters move along the story, but the way they did it was obnoxious.
Yeah. Right.
Too much.
Well, the first person said freelance contractor. The last one said Walter O'Brien, some kind of government contractor.
Yeah, you're right.
It sounded really weird. So that was the only negative I probably had in the show. I just got tired of seeing all these people and what they were doing. I know, I get it.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it more of a human interest story. Little Timmy trapped in a well. All of America, suffers with Timmy.
Yeah.
But it was annoying.
That is a story that everyone would latch on to.
Of course.
Right, but like we were saying, you would never see that live feed
No.
happening
Oh my
in
gosh,
case
no.
something
No.
bad happened. You can't. You know what I mean?
There's no way.
So let's talk about what's going on with this kid. So this kid is trapped. Okay, we discover, when they finally get a phone down there, and we're able to Skype had such good publicity on this
It was
episode
genius.
too.
It was smart though, because
Yeah.
it's doable.
It was
It's
smart.
not so far fetched.
Yeah.
So we discover that Toby notices the kid breathing heavy and he's panicking, and of course Paige is there to calm the kid down. Brilliant, beautiful move. But Toby notices something else, and we see when he looks up, we see some weird veinage,
Yeah.
and Toby figures out, because he used to study medical as a medical doctor, that the kid probably has a punctured lung, so he can't use scuba gear. So the kid's gonna be trapped underwater. There's no way to keep him breathing with scuba gear,
And his leg's stuck.
and his leg is stuck.
And then on top of that, Sylvester calculated wrong and thought he had an hour and 22 minutes. In logistic, he only had 56 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And then Walter gets angry at him.
Yeah. Well, this is last time we saw Walter was he was injured. So I was almost wondering if that was like him still being a little like off his game because of that too.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to bring that up.
Right.
Well, he had said that he doesn't know if he can go back to Scorpion. Like,
I know,
he's
and
just
it
like
wasn't
second
addressed.
guessing himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it wasn't addressed at all. You're right.
It wasn't
This episode.
addressed.
It wasn't addressed, but Megan was still like trying to talk him off the ledge and like work him back. Well, not really work him back. She's like, if you want to
Tough
go,
love.
go.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, we still see Sylvester struggling, and I think that's part of it. Absolutely. And I think also like the things that I brought up, I mean, he went off on Megan and said, you know, that kid is facing every single fear that I have. Fear of darkness, fear of closed spaces, fear of water. There was a fourth one I didn't have a chance to write down.
To be buried alive.
Yeah.
To be buried alive?
Those are my worst
That's-
nightmares
yeah,
too.
those are-
Claustrophobic to the max.
I would not last 2 seconds in that kid's scenario.
No.
Like, I would not.
And then she shut him up saying
You would?
that
We're braver than you
Yeah.
guys.
I mean, it would be terrifying, but
Yeah.
claustrophobia doesn't bother
Yeah,
me.
no.
close space, like Walter crawling through the small space to get to him.
Yeah.
Done.
Really? I've done that.
Yeah.
I like going to caves and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
that
What?
doesn't
It's
bother
gonna
me.
it can, like I
But
like
not a place that I know where I'm going.
Right.
as
And
a
I
kid,
know
elevators
it's
used
fine
to
on the
scare me.
other
Yeah.
side.
We're not saying we would
Yeah.
we would be like, yeah, bring it on.
Yeah.
No, we'd be
Come
terrified,
on.
but we
Christmas
would do
Eve,
it.
what's up?
We would do it. We
I-
would be like, okay,
That's what I do
Walter.
on Christmas. No.
If that happened to me, I guess I'd have to do it, or else
Yeah,
I'd
you don't have an
die.
option.
But I don't think I would survive. I'm a big guy. I'm really scared. I would have been panicking like crazy.
Toby would have been
Didn't
like,
know
get him
what
out
to
of
do.
there.
Yeah.
So
Get
live
him
it
out.
up
Get him out
until
of
then.
Yeah.
All right, well.
But really, really crazy. You know, the beginning of the episode, I mean, they were saying a lot of facts and things about sinkholes and just everything in general that didn't make much sense to me. But what I loved was they found a way to keep the kid breathing,
Yes.
so to speak, without breathing, because they knew that they didn't have enough time to get the right equipment to save him before he would be completely submerged.
Yeah.
So this
Which is
ECMO,
interesting.
Yeah.
it was an ECMO machine. I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Walter pointed out though that he would be the first person to ever use that machine while conscious.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
Right.
I would
I
love
would've
to
been
do it.
Yeah.
Just
And
to
would
see how
would-
it is.
I know.
Just like sit
You
at
wanna
the
do it?
table like no.
You know,
Yeah,
I
I
just
would
like
wanna-
not have to breathe.
You just want to put
Yeah.
the needles in and just close your breath.
I would want to know if the feeling of wanting to breathe is gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, because
Yeah.
that's what you were
Exactly.
saying when he was
Right.
under there. I was like, I would be consciously wanting to, and you're like, well, that's because you need the oxygen. If you don't need it, maybe you don't have
Right.
the same urge, which would be interesting to know.
Because it was
Yeah.
converting his own blood, right, into oxygen,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous.
Running in and putting oxygen in it.
Yeah, that's
So
ridiculous.
weird. So going up through
And
a
then back
lot.
in. Yeah.
That's some genius stuff.
Well, yeah, it was like 40-foot cables that brought his blood up to the machine, oxygenated it, and brought it back down. And then, you know, just the kid's already dealing with enough,
Oh, no.
and he has to. And I'm scared. As a kid, I was definitely scared of needles. I'm better now, but just imagine, you all say Walter down there. I mean, and Walter had to go down there.
Well,
I don't think the kid could just put the needles on himself.
The needle was
Yeah.
the least of that kid's worries.
That's true.
Walter's like, we're gonna put a needle. He's like, bring it.
But just just that reaction, like to try and not breathe, because
Yeah.
your primordial, I think he said, brain will tell you to
right.
Yeah.
to hold out. I think everyone always has that reaction where they're still going to want to breathe and they'll breathe. So that's a big thing, I think, for that kid.
The worst thing, can you imagine the panic when it actually cuts the flow of oxygen and he starts getting the feeling?
Yeah. That's
It
terrible.
had to be horrible.
I'm so glad they didn't show that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm so glad they didn't show that because that would freak me. I mean, this scene was really like
It was
hitting
intense.
me.
There was already
really
enough
well
that I
done,
was
too.
like, stop.
I
you
feel like
know?
the two of you guys were like coming off your seats, getting closer and closer to Nando,
Yeah.
and
I just kept
I was
nope,
like this.
can't
I
do
was
it,
like,
can't do
my
it,
neck
can't
was
do it.
stretching. As the little boy was stretching, I was stretching to try
Yeah,
and
like
breathe.
trying to.
I was like, I feel you, Owen, I feel you. Except I'm breathing, but yeah, whatever.
I feel you, but I'm breathing.
I'm just on a couch. It's fine, but
Yeah.
Yeah. So now during this whole thing, you know, one thing is apparently clear that the entire area is still unstable. And that's part of the problem, that they can't get the kid out because the whole thing is unstable and the sinkhole could actually get
Collapse.
worse and collapse and the kid could die. So we get to see Walter again, I mean, we know his motivation. We see how compelled he is for kids in particular from other episodes. So we see him completely risk his life, not once but twice, to go down there to talk to the kid. And Cabe tries to stop him, of course, but he can't. Walter's determined, and this is when I love seeing Walter in these moments, because this is when his emotions come out. There's no hiding away from his emotions and what he's feeling. Yeah. So I love seeing that part of him. And again, crazy. I mean, we don't, we know that Walter can't necessarily kick, somebody's butt, in a certain way, and he can't do certain things. But we know that, when called to action, he will jump in and sacrifice himself. Yeah. So I love seeing this. Let's talk a little bit about, he sent out Happy and Toby to go work on this jack to actually support the kid's leg, the rock, to get the leg up,
to open it.
Yeah, and so Happy and Toby have little tappy moments. I think
hashtag tappy.
Yeah, hashtag tappy, where Toby says something about I watch you work a couple of times, and Toby's like, thank you for making this creepy. Yeah. But one thing that Toby does find while they're working is a note to Happy's dad, so we get to see that again. That's something that we haven't seen,
which is great.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'm glad they brought him back for this episode.
Me too.
It was a good moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So we get to see that, and we get to see Toby talk some sense into Happy, because Happy is scared. Happy is not scared of many things, but she's scared of this.
Yeah. And I love that he doesn't let her just push it aside. He's like, we're going to go in there. We're going to talk about it. We're going to do this. And she's like,
And what did he say? He's like, over 60 seconds to talk about something.
Yes, because he had 60 seconds to wait for that mold to get done. Yeah. And, then we have 60 seconds to talk about this. Absolutely. So, yeah, beautiful moment by them. And then we see a little bit more of them when they're racing back. Now, this I thought was a little unbelievable, but they're stuck in traffic at the very end. They have minutes to get there. And this old biker, I guess because he's old, maybe it's doable. This old biker comes out.
Any other biker would just nail you.
Yeah, this guy was pretty old, so maybe that's why they figured, okay, Toby could probably take this guy on. Toby tackles the guy and fights with him while Happy does all the, steals the bike.
Yeah.
I'll believe it, but it was funny, and again, it was really nice seeing. It's always nice seeing those two working together or not working together, bickering, but
spending time together,
being in the presence of each other.
Yeah, being in the presence. But I think it's admirable to see that. The other group that we get to see isolated on the side, particularly Sylvester, because as we said earlier, he made wrong calculations. Walter snapped at him, and he disappeared, and Megan found him.
Yes.
So I think we pretty much explored that part of it, other than the fact that Sylvester, we didn't explore, came back in a big way.
Yeah. Tough love works.
Or maybe Megan
sometimes
works.
Yeah. She's like, you're chicken. And he went back in. No,
she's like, you could go.
Yeah.
I don't think
straight up, bye Felicia.
She did.
Bye Felicia.
Bye Felicia.
Bye Philippe.
Bye Philippe. Yeah.
Bye Philippe. I don't think Sylvester, he knows how to deal with women. So I don't know if she really moved him as much as what she said moved him. But I really, of course, like seeing these two interact, and it was really something to see Sylvester go back in there when Walter was definitely in danger, trying to hold those rocks up when the rocks shifted that other time, and trying to save the ECMO machine. And Sylvester went in there, and maybe he used those weight kits. I don't know, maybe it was just the adrenaline, but he was doing a good job holding those rocks up.
Yeah, he was.
Where Paige just stood there the whole time. Oh my god!
Right? So annoying. That's when I yelled at the television. I said some bad words.
That is when you yelled.
And they were straight at Paige.
Yeah.
And they were straight at Paige.
You're right. She just stood there and was so shocked about
Sylvester. Like, grab the damn machine.
What
Have
would
you not
do?
seen Walter?
Grab the machine.
Help! I understand that Sylvester is doing something that you were shocked about, but what has Walter been doing? Did you stop? No, you were helping Owen, so help the situation, sister.
Right.
Like something, like grab the cord or like whatever she can carry.
Yeah. All she had to do was grab that cord.
Yeah.
Just to pick it up.
Yeah, the cord. You're right. The cord. That snapped.
She could have got it. Sorry for screaming at all of you.
It's Paige's fault.
It was
still love
the
you, Paige.
suspense.
You looked great tonight.
It was still a lot of suspense, and
Rylan has the biggest crush on Catherine McPhee.
I'm just saying the girl can do it all, and
that's great.
That's okay. I mean, I think more people have crushes on Catherine Feedon, just you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a crush on her too. I'll be honest.
she's
Rylan like is constant.
But
You
you
go,
are-
girl. She looks so good. Look at her.
Well,
like
I told you look great today too. Your hair.
Because of my hair.
I was like, you got a haircut. You look good.
He thinks I look good just because my hair is as short as Catherine McPhee now.
Yes, that's what it was.
She Catherine McFeeded it for
Yeah.
me. McFeeded it.
Oh
yeah.
boy.
Oh, that's so funny.
Cute. Well, anyway, Sylvester coming back in a big way. Sylvester helping out with some brute force, and unfortunately, it wasn't enough, at least as far as the ECMO machine was concerned, because the wires got pinned, and even though they saved this expensive piece of equipment, they couldn't get the oxygenated blood back down to Owen.
Right.
So Owen, there's this moment in this show where we all are like supposed to believe that Owen's probably dead.
Right.
And Cave is talking to Walter, and Walter goes to the beach and screams.
Yeah.
And, I think we all kind of knew this is an 8:00 show on CBS that the kid probably isn't dead.
She even said for a second, she's like, maybe this is going to be the first sad ending.
I actually,
I didn't
it
know.
wasn't realistic. Come on, 7 minutes underwater and he was fine.
Yeah.
He has to be like a Superman,
And
guys.
then Cabe was to Walter, he was like, you can't believe that this is your fault.
right.
Yeah.
I was
But
with Marina.
I'm glad that it was a happy.
And then out comes Toby. Walter!
Yeah, right. And it goes Toby to the rescue, and Walter goes back in there. He doesn't care if it's been 5 or 7 minutes. He's going to go in there because we know he's still got to do the job, and we still got to have a happy ending. And he's able to pull the kid out and
drag him on the rock.
drag him on the
That
rock.
was such an awkward camera.
Literally dragging him amongst the sand.
That is commitment, and I'm telling you, that's commitment for that kid. Wow.
Yeah, no, good job on the kid.
Yeah,
we're
seriously.
more talking about the camera angle.
And how Walter was dragging him.
Yes, like it looked bad.
Like, what if
I'm
you
sure.
like lay him on his back or something?
and like
right?
then take him, but it was like face first.
It was like,
just-
yeah, like.
They're like, we need this. But then the sand started coming in. I was like, this is not good. This is not good. And then I thought they would get past, and then it would just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead, it was kind of like they made it through with the help of Cabe.
It was like being born again. It came out of the.
It's like coming out of the womb. That's what you're saying.
That's one way to put it.
That was kind of funny because we see the
popping out.
hand. We see that hand of Cave come out. That was kind of. That's an interesting thought. Yeah.
Well, I guess he was reborn. He's going to see his life in a whole different
That's true.
way.
No more caves for him.
Right.
But the whole dilemma with the kid. Again, it happened at about 40. It seems to happen around 44 minutes into the hour when the main storyline gets figured out or fixed. But I gotta say, compared to like last week with the international thieves, that shoot everybody on sight and are dangerous, or the mafiosa guy or whatever, this felt like a complete episode. Like, definitely was a very exhausting episode in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way, a very full episode.
Yeah, on your toes. It was great.
It was great. It was
I
great to
love
watch.
that they switched it up and they still managed to tie in all the stories like that were going on amongst the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we wrap it up, let me just bring up iTunes because we're on iTunes, so you guys can obviously subscribe to us if you haven't. Please subscribe to us. Please rate us. We have a couple of ratings. We have like 7, but we haven't had many more lately. So we'd love to get some ratings from you guys. And
You want me to do it right now, Nando?
you want to rate?
us?
You want to? Well, you don't rate us. Write something nice about us.
Yeah.
Oh no, you don't do it because
I
you'll
do-
say something bad about me.
I do have a shout out.
You do have a shout out?
That Nando.
That Nando.
I want to do a shout out to Leon. Washburn. I hope I'm saying your last name right. He sent us an awesome email saying
You.
Yeah.
but
We
he
enjoyed
said
it
how
just as much as you.
how much he liked the show and listening to Scorpion, and he also made me a collage. Is that the word?
Yes, collage.
Like
Yes.
a collage.
Yeah.
Of like some of my photos,
A
and it
banner.
was banner for my Twitter account, and it was the sweetest thing. Leon, thank you so much for listening and for the email. It definitely put a smile on my face.
No, good. That was a nice smile. But yeah, thank you so much for commenting on YouTube. We'd love to get some comments on iTunes. It just helps us move the ratings along and just move us up. And also with getting guests, which we will be getting guests in the new year. I've been told that. So we're hoping to get some guests. But yeah, other than that, there's our pitch. And then there's tons of other shows on iTunes from AfterBuzz that you can look at too. Anyway, so let's start wrapping this up because we have about 15 minutes again. So one of the things definitely want to talk about. Well, it looks like Megan's going to end up doing that drug trial.
Yes.
Because of just seeing this Christmas miracle, this kid surviving. Everyone's calling it a Christmas miracle. So she's going to do that. So that's great. We get to maybe see something come out of that, possibly with her. Definitely the interaction between her and him. She was very inspirational to Walter as well.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, with the Jonas Salk conversations and such. You know, Walter is about to become like a hero, so he's going to get called out to the media, but he doesn't know what to say because, you know, he has a logical...
Think it's a miracle.
Yeah, he has a logical explanation for it that's really boring, and he knows that
Nobody wants to hear
no
that.
one wants to hear it. So, but the big things let's talk about first of all is Happy going up to her dad.
Yay.
Yes.
Because I think that was huge.
That was such
adorable.
Yeah. Such a great moment. I love that he knew all along.
Yeah.
That she, you know what I mean? Because I think this entire time she wanted like some sort of love and affection and confirmation and all that, and he was just like, I knew. You know,
And
like,
she was about to leave again too, and he's like, you know what? You look a lot like her. And I was like,
I know. It's really sweet. And he was like, you know, he said, you know, you deserved better.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he didn't say anything before, because he didn't want to like pressure her into
Right.
getting a relationship with him.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And the actor who plays him, by the way, Jamie McShane, who plays Happy's dad. So maybe we'll see some more of him. You know,
I think so.
Well, so far IMDb only has him in the 2 episodes he's been in so far.
Okay.
But absolutely. So, and it says here, I haven't looked at his IMDb thing, but oh, interesting. Nothing as notable as the kid, but still a good resume. No, but still a very, very good resume.
Better than ours.
Yes, better than ours. But here's the thing. So it's a really touching moment, and I thought it was a beautiful scene where he says that about you look just like her, and then she brings him to Christmas dinner, which I think is awesome.
So
we know
sweet.
we're going to see a big family event, and this is a nice little you know twist to see. To see her bring her dad and introduce her dad to everybody. And Toby obviously got a lot of pleasure in meeting her dad, which was really, really cute. Yeah. So we also see the gifts that are given. We mentioned the gifts that Happy gets a wrench, and we saw Toby gets his hat back that he lost when he was overseas.
It's a new one.
It's a new one. Well, yeah, a new one.
Right.
But he gets his mojo back with the new hat, and not like these. And
I have a great mojo with this.
I got a great mojo. For
just
this.
wear it all year long. Let's hear you talk about that hat in April.
I would back and forth.
Nice. And so last week when we did predictions, I think a bunch of us predicted there would be a kiss.
Yes.
Yes.
We were wondering if the kiss would be Drew and Paige, or if it would be Walter and Paige, or Happy and Toby. But I don't think any of us actually said it would be Megan and Sylvester.
Yeah, not at all.
That one just came out.
It was a cute little. I mean, it was a cute little kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
But come on, it's Sylvester. We're not expecting.
Right, which exactly. I
It's
think
got to
it's
be
very
PG
believable.
first.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally believable. I thought it was very cute, but
Under the mistletoe.
Yeah. And then we have that moment where Walter and Paige are like,
And of course, they have to end that, and with what that, and also the really cool. I wanted to look this up. I didn't have a chance. I think it's called Rube Goldberg device, where it's those things when you do the little, you drop a ball and then it causes all those things. I think it's called a Rube Goldberg.
That was really cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
It was great. The production
yeah.
value of that was awesome.
Yeah.
Left us on a little Christmas joy.
Very Scorpion-esque way to do it, like a very,
Totally.
a very
And that
nerdy
Christmas
way.
tree that like.
yeah.
It was really pretty. But yes, we see that final look of Walter and Paige's like, what's going on? He goes, oh, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and that was pretty much where it ended.
Right.
So yeah, one thing we didn't bring up was no Drew. Drew is up in Portland for a minor league tryout.
Typical Drew missing out on milestones of Ralph's life.
Toby's line was really great. This isn't like him to miss a Christmas. Oh no, it's like him to miss every Christmas.
It's exactly like
So
him.
it's exactly like him. So yeah, so no Drew in this Christmas episode, and we didn't really get to see Ralph at all until the very end. We didn't really get to see Ralph at all. So nothing with Ralph in it, other than the fact that Paige obviously was relating to Owen as if it was Ralph, and you know, to try and bond with Owen. But yeah, really happy ending. I mean, to be expected for a Christmas episode of Scorpion. I would have to say this was my favorite episode. I'm going to say this is my favorite episode of the season.
I'll second that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I hope we see more episodes like this, because it was very different than your typical procedural, bad guy of the week.
Yeah.
And I hope they keep mixing it up a little bit, having fun.
I agree.
That was really good.
Absolutely. So let's move this along to some predictions for the new year.
And now, your
fancy.
AfterBuzz TV.
Yeah, we're fancy in this room.
predictions.
So we didn't get to see any clips from I don't know if there were any clips, but we were in a hurry, so we didn't get a chance to see clips from an upcoming episode. Scorpion's not returning back till January 5th, so we have a couple of weeks off.
Which is sooner than we thought.
Sooner than we originally thought, but it happens. So any thoughts? I mean, this is now 12 episodes, so this was the original order. They tacked on after the ratings were really good for the first couple. So, could it be anything? So what do you guys predict for 2015 with Team Scorpion?
The fact that Drew wasn't in this episode makes me think.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, that's
Felicia.
I think they're gonna phase him out, and it's gonna be the time when Walter, something has to happen. I'm gonna go with
He's
that.
gotta
Remember,
step up.
I was like, Drew's gonna do something to disappoint Paige. So it's probably gonna be that he's gonna leave, and Paige doesn't want to go. It's not gonna move with Ralph. And when Paige is down and crying, Walter's gonna come,
Pick her back up.
Yeah.
It's okay. And
I thought you were gonna have a moment for a second.
well, that's what Walter would do that. He would pretend to touch her and then wouldn't, and then be like, "It's gonna be okay. Your percentage of you being happy will, whatever, come back or whatever." So that's what I think is gonna happen. I think Drew's gonna.
I think so too. I think so too. I think
some.
maybe I think he'll come back and you'll be fine for an episode or two, and then he's gonna either get the job or he's gonna leave to go somewhere else.
Nice.
And I mean, just there has to be a kiss.
Right?
Either Toby and Happy or Walter and Paige. It has to happen.
Okay, what do you think?
I need Tappy to happen, and then I also just hope that they keep surprising us with lots of different, switching up how they do the episodes instead of just typical procedurals. So, yeah.
Okay, awesome. I kind of agree. I think, well, first of all, it's Christmas time. Drew's up there in Portland for a tryout. But baseball season doesn't start for 3 or 4 months. So I could see him coming back for a little bit. But I think what's going to happen is we're going to see Drew come back every couple of episodes and then disappear. And that causes the push-pull between Walter and Paige to keep going. And every time they look like they're about to get close,
he'll come back.
Drew comes back. So I think this is definitely not the end of Drew, but we'll...
Probably not until the season finale will we get a kiss from them.
Well, we'll see. I mean, that might be a lot, too, because maybe a kiss, but then he'll come back again.
He's going to keep coming back.
Because that's going to happen. And I really predict more good episodes like this one. This is what I really want to see. I don't mind seeing the procedural bad guy of the week, but again, I feel like some of them just have... I just feel like some of them are just really...
They're just similar, right? It was a different story, but it was the same thing.
Yeah, this was refreshing.
It's refreshing to see them
way.
handle different problems, and I think this was a good different problem, and just to see Walter in action was really, really good. Anyway, so Scorpion doesn't return until the new year, January 5th. That's when we'll be back. But till then, for the holidays, where can we reach all you guys if we want to talk to you about stuff?
Well, just come talk to me on Twitter at Ryland_Adams, and we'll have lots of fun.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Marina Santos Fit.
We said it last week.
We did. We shouted you out.
Yeah, we shouted you out.
They almost forgot your fit though, and I was like, fit.
She will wear the Ram hat for you at parties and every place else.
Yeah. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos, MonseBolanos. Happy holidays.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Nando Vel, Nandovel, and here at AfterBuzz for a bunch of shows. A lot of shows are probably done for the year starting in 2015, but please don't forget to subscribe to all our shows. I know you have Gotham. I have the Homeland finale this week coming up, and then everything else is in the new year. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we will tune in. We will catch you, I guess, in January. Thanks a lot for tuning in.
See you next year.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.